Good evening, Philippines. This is Trendline PH, where Senate sessions lately have become so dramatic that even parliamentary procedure now comes with walkout scenes and legal plot twists. Tensions exploded in the Senate on May 26, 2026, after the minority bloc staged a walkout during plenary proceedings to protest a controversial proposal allowing senators to participate remotely and vote electronically for justifiable reasons. The controversy began when Senator Rodante Marcoleta revived a proposal to amend Senate Rule 14, Section 41, to formally allow video conferencing and digital voting during Senate proceedings. But minority senators including Risa Hontiveros, Erwin Tulfo, Bam Aquino, Kiko Pangilinan, Mix Zubiri, and others strongly objected, arguing the process violated Senate rules and lacked proper debate. Senator Kiko Pangilinan pointed out that Senate rules are normally amended through a formal resolution, which he argued was not being followed here.
There are a lot of questions that have to be raised as to why this amendment to the rules is being undertaken at this time. Precedent provides, Mr. President, that when we amend our rules, we do so by way of resolution. We do not have that resolution now. In fact, Mr. President, a total 48 amendments of our rules all went through resolutions. This is the first time after 48 amendments, Mr. President, that we do not have a resolution so that we can
Point
vote
of order, Madam Chair.
and amend the rules properly, Mr.
Point
President.
of
Senator Alan Peter Cayetano then raised a point of order, while also joking that Senator Pangilinan was shouting again. According to Cayetano, the Senate was not yet debating the actual amendment itself, but merely whether the floor could officially take it up.
First of all, I hope we learned our lesson. Senator Pangilinan already apologized to Senator Padilla, then now you're shouting at us. No, the record will show, nakatape naman eh, ang taas-taas ng boses nyo eh. Diba? You were shouting at kaya nga hindi magkarinigan. Now, what's my point of order? We are not discussing the merits yet of the amendment. No one's curtailing your rights because wala pa tayo dun eh. Ang pinagbobotohan natin ngayon, kung pwedeng i-take up sa floor o hindi. It depends on every issue, Madam Chair. There's no specific rule of the amount of time. So, Madam Chair, we're here. We're willing, Senator Marcoleta is ready to take questions. Ang pinagbobotohan lang po natin ngayon, simple lang. Whether or not the proposal to amend the rules is in order. Yung pa lang ho. Yung specific amendment, sino magbe-benefit, paano magbe-benefit, etc. We support the right of Senator Pangilinan to ask questions, pero wala pa tayo dun eh.
Marcoleta defended the proposal by citing Section 136 of the Senate Rules, arguing that it serves as a special provision that takes precedence over general procedural rules. He also insisted the motion was not new.
The Senate President invoked Section 136, Paragraph 2. Kung babasahin po natin ito, Madam President, napakasimple lang. Ito pong Section 136, Paragraph 2, is a special provision in precisely amending our rules. In Section 24 po, this is a general rule. Kung mapapansin po ninyo, it presupposes that it will take up all the bills referred to that committee. General po yung function niya. 136, second paragraph, is a special provision. Sa principle po ng batas, yun pong special provision takes precedence over a general provision. Yun lang po, basahin po ninyo. Hindi nga po, it will not even take one day because this is not a new motion. Kung mapapansin nyo, ni-reiterate ko lang po ito eh. It was already moved last May 11 pa po. So that is even more than one day. So who is talking about one day here? Ang pinag-uusapan po natin, unless we respect Section 136, ang linaw-linaw po, it talks about the rules may also be amended. Diretso po ito eh. So this takes precedence over Section 24. Simpleng-simple lamang po ito eh.
Senator Risa Hontiveros pushed back, criticizing the process and saying there had been no meaningful debate on the substance of the proposal. She also maintained that it was a new motion.
Una, gusto ko pong segundahan yung sinabi ni Senator Pangilinan. Bagong motion ito, Madam President. Bakit po? Sa ilalim ng Section 24, ni-refer yung unang mosyong binanggit ni Senator Marcoleta noon sa Committee on Rules. Ngayon kung sasabihin na ibinalik yung mosyong iyon, yung unang mosyon ni Senator Marcoleta sa plenary, sino ang gumawa nun? Dapat ang Committee on Rules. Na-initiate na po ang prosesong iyon alinsunod sa Section 24. Hindi pa nga po nako-constitute ang Committee on Rules. Wala pa nga pong minority contingent sa Committee on Rules. So wala pang body na pwedeng ibalik yung unang mosyon ni Senator Marcoleta sa plenary. Kaya ko sinusugundahan ang sinabi ni Senator Pangilinan. Ito pong mosyon na gustong talakayin ni Senator Marcoleta at pinamudmod ni Senate President sa atin, bagong mosyon po siya. Kung kaya't nag-a-apply po ang Rule Section 136 na kailangan bigyan ng isang araw pa pagkatapos para talakayin. And tama si Senator Pangilinan, sa Lunes pa po yun, Madam President.
The debate became more heated after Marcoleta remarked that some senators may simply lack the legal background necessary to understand the issue.
Madam President, without giving meaning to anything, ito
Senator
pong
Marcoleta.
mahirap kasi kung wala po tayong legal background dito. Kaya sinasabi ko na nga po, hindi po bagong motion ito eh. Hindi siya bagong motion. Kasasabi ko lang po, May 11, minub ko na po ito eh. Sino po magsasabi na bagong motion?
Senator Erwin Tulfo quickly responded, calling Marcoleta's remarks ad hominem and saying it was improper to suggest that fellow senators did not understand the law.
Point of order. Ad hominem.
Sinasabi ko lamang po, ang
Hindi,
sinasabi
Madam
ko lang,
President,
kanina ko po sinasabi.
Hindi po tama yun.
Section
Sasabihin yung
136.
kasama niya
Pwede po
ay
ba?
walang
Session is
kinalaman,
suspended.
Pwede po
walang
bang
alam sa
pagbigyan
batas.
Senator Cayetano attempted to ease tensions, saying he understood both sides and describing the disagreement as merely different love languages. Apparently, Senate debates now come with relationship counseling. Cayetano reiterated that they were still only discussing whether to take up the amendment and then moved to divide the House.
I'm listening to the two senators and as I mentioned kanina na wag na tayong gumamit ng brasuhan, etc. And I see the point of Senator Risa, but I'm also listening to Senator Marcoleta. It's kumbaga sa libro, iba yung love language, but I don't think they're meant to be any offense. Having said that, we're only discussing whether we will take up the amendment or not. And we have exhausted already all the arguments. This is a simple motion, so I move that we divide the House. May I reiterate my motion. Then we can go into the merits and they can try to convince us whether or not we agree. So the motion is to take up the amendment to our rules as proposed by Senator Marcoleta. The objection is that it is not in order because we did not follow our own rules.
But the political tension escalated further when Senator Erwin Tulfo linked the urgency of the amendment to reports that two senators tied to the flood control controversy could soon face arrest warrants. According to Tulfo, the majority may have been rushing the proposal to preserve voting numbers before possible arrests affect Senate attendance.
Madam President, my question is, why is the majority in such a hurry to tackle this motion? This allowing a senator for justifiable reasons to attend and participate in the session through teleconference, whereas in Rule 14, Section 41, under B, it says convene and hold a session through teleconference, video conference, or other reliable forms of remote or electronic means using appropriate information and communications technology system due to force majeure, Madam President, or the occurrence of a national emergency. I guess, Madam President, this justifiable reason, what is that? Does that fall under force majeure or does it fall under national emergency, Madam President? My question is,
Chair.
why are we in so hurry? Why are they, the majority, in a hurry to tackle this motion and divide the House, Madam President? We need answers in the minority.
Madam Chair.
Or is it because, Madam Chair, they're in a hurry because of news reports that probably two of our colleagues might land in jail this weekend? Is that the reason why? Is that the reason why they have to have this inserted, the Section 41C, para makaboto po kung sino man yung makukulong dahil sa announcement ng ombudsman na may lalabas na po ang warrant ng ilan sa mga kasama natin, Madam President. That is my question, Madam
Madam
President.
Chair,
Cayetano objected strongly, saying it was unfair to question the good faith of senators during plenary discussions.
we take offense that bibigyan niya ng ganyang kulay. It's just like us saying, are you afraid if we have the hearing on the Blue Ribbon on flood control, mababanggit ka rin? You do not make that kind of statements here in the Senate because you assume good faith from everyone. That rule hindi minadali. May 11 pa ho yun. So, Madam Chair, I move that we divide the House.
At that point, most members of the minority bloc stood up and walked out of the Senate chamber in protest.
Basta warrant of arrest. Para makaboto yung mga yun na makukulong.
Sir, bakit po kayo nag-walk out?
This is a travesty of Senate rules.
Sir, ano pong mangyayari ngayon?
Dapat yung goals. Ano dapat?
Sir,
Dapat yung goals.
This is a travesty of Senate rules. We'll not allow it.
Sir, ano yung dapat na gagawin? Di ba dapat po consider mo na yung committee on rules?
Yes! Wala pa committee nun. Wala pa nga majority leader.
Yes, sir.
We will not be part of this. It's a travesty of our rules, of the Senate rules. Hindi kami papayag sa mga
what happens na hindi sila pwedeng magbotohan? Hindi sila pwedeng magbasa ng motion.
Guys, senators muna.
Wala pa ng debate sa substance.
Bakit po sa tingin niyo gagawin, gusto nila mangyari ngayon yun?
Eh hindi nga tayo umabot sa pag-discuss, debate sa substantive kasi hindi nila sinusunod yung sarili rules.
Teleconference, ginagawa lang yun kung may pandemya. Wala namang pandemya ngayon.
Walang national emergency. Walang force majeure.
Sir, baka ituloy nila. Pwede po ba nila
Wala
ituloy?
silang quorum.
Walang quorum.
Sino pa ba? JB. San JB? San JB?
Sir, hindi pwede magbotohan kasi wala silang quorum.
Wala silang quorum. They have no quorum.
Okay, sir.
Let's go.
Bakit umabot sa ganito, sir?
Minority Leader Tito Soto then moved to adjourn the proceedings.
I only see the minority leader representing the minority. The others had left.
I move to adjourn or a quorum call. That is a higher precedence, Madam President.
Cayetano said the majority would not object to adjournment, although he placed on record that the minority bloc had scampered out instead of staying to discuss the rules.
We will not object, but for the record,
Yes.
they scampered out and left the minority leader instead of discussing the rule. We are not even discussing the rule yet. And then, ganun na yung allegation nila. And no one from the minority stood up to say that out of order si Senator Erwin Tulfo. So we will not object, Madam Chair. In fact, we move that we adjourn till 5 p.m.
Madam President,
Monday.
Marcoleta then raised the issue of quorum, arguing that since quorum existed at the start of session, the plenary could continue despite the walkout.
Nung pong nagsimula tayo, Madam, meron po ba tayong quorum?
We had a quorum, yes.
Yes, Madam President. Kapag ka po ba nag-walkout ang minority, nawawala po yung quorum. Nagsimula po tayong may quorum. It doesn't matter if they walk out.
Yes,
I think we still have the quorum.
But Senator Soto countered that once quorum is questioned, the roll must be called. And with the minority already gone, quorum no longer existed.
Madam President, once there is a quorum call, you have to call the roll. Kahit na present lahat o kulang kanina o there was a motion to dispense, whatever that is.
Finally, Senate pro tempore Loren Legarda ruled that the motion to adjourn took precedence and officially suspended the session until June 1st.
As reiterated by the Senate President and as conveyed by the Minority Leader, former Senate President, the rule states that the motion to adjourn takes precedence and not taking sides.
5 p.m. Monday
And we will adjourn session
until 5
p.m. on Monday, June 1st, 2026.
June 2nd.
The proposed amendment could have major implications beyond ordinary Senate attendance, including possible effects on the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. Critics, including Senator Ping Lacson, warned that the proposal was being rushed through plenary without proper committee review. And that's the latest from the increasingly high-voltage halls of the Philippine Senate. Stay tuned for more breaking news, sharp commentary, and political drama more intense than Senate microphones accidentally left on during recess. This is Trendline PH. Like, follow, and stay informed.